Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. And if you have not been here before, please remember to subscribe, like, and share. Wow, what a subject we're going to cover today. I wasn't really thinking of posting this, um, because we have so much to unpack. And it's a very personal thing that I want to talk about. And it's something that has always been deep within me, and that was that any human cruelty hurts my heart. Anyone who is victimized, either emotionally or physically or mentally, it's the unseen um, traumas that often leave the biggest wounds. There's something inside of me that just cringes, and it splits into two things. Part of me becomes a victim inside, and the other part of me becomes the warrior. And I experienced this last weekend. I decided to take the weekend off and read a novel. Now, I used to eat books, right? I mean, novels were just my lifeline throughout my childhood, and it was an escape. But one of the things that I've realized lately is I'm seeing in the spirituality field that many people think spirituality or in the new earth is an escape out of where we are today, and it isn't. And so anyway, I gave myself this opportunity. I wasn't going to post this, and I don't even know if I will, because I seem to be rambling, which I tend to do when there's a lot of information coming in all at the same time. Anyway, I was reading this book called The Lost Bookshop. If you've read it, comment. So it's a story about three main characters. One of them is a woman who lives in the late 19th to early 20th century, and then the other two characters, a male and a female, they live in the mid 20th to the 21st century. But both women were going through the inhumanity of cruelty, and the lack of empathy and the lack of support and all of those things. And I know that they go on still today. So I was reading this story, and it's a wonderful book because there's magic in it, and there's a lot of metaphysics, and there are a lot of lessons in it, as both of these women fight their way out of this situation. Anyhow, I went to bed, and I woke up one morning. I woke up about one something in the middle of the night, and in my mind was this story of human cruelty, which I've never been able to have an understanding of how anyone can do that to another human. So I was asking this question in my head: what in our human psyche can take us to that place where we become the perpetrators of cruelty? And that just went around in my head, and then I went back into my childhood, where, of course, in the early I was born into the Second World War to a Jewish mum in occupied Holland, and I was, witness to cruelty from a very early age, and it I just never could align to it, and it did make me a victim in the early, days of my life. So I was pondering all this in the middle of the night, and then I did what I always do, and I reach out to counsel. So I go to my journal and I write a question. And what I want to do with you today is to actually read out what I wrote in the journal and the answer that came through. So that's what I'm going to do. And then, of course, we are going to have a look at it. I will unpack it as we go. And then at the end, stay with me. And because you know, you may not like the answer. And that's what council said. You're asking me a question, but you may not like the answer. And anyway, I'll share you some practical experiences that I've had where the answer is so obvious. However, um, I'm rambling again, and so at the end, of course, I always want to leave you A, wanting more, but B, most of all, feeling better within yourself. So even though this is a very deep emotional question, I think we'll come out feeling empowered. And please share any stories that come up. And if their old emotions come up for you, please, you know, share that with me, and let's transform them together. So this is what I wrote in my journal. Okay, calling in the council. I have a question. The extreme cruelty expressed by some of the human species to each other and the animal world, and the disregard for the sacredness of life itself, I have such a lack of understanding for. How anyone who is truly human can do those cruel things that were and are still perpetrated for whatever reasons. I would like an explanation. I chose to be born into a time where this cruelty was being perpetrated right in front of my eyes to my own family members, as many were exterminated in gas chambers, including my beloved grandparents and 90% of my maternal relatives. And you know, my mum lost her whole family, and she never recovered emotionally from that, you know. So I've been there. So what in our species, this is what I wrote, what in our species can be so far removed from our divine source to enable them to do that or to think up those torturous horrors? And why do I need to address this now? I mean, I'm in the middle of the night, you know, why is that now suddenly rolling around? Something is itching me. And why do I need to address this now? It hurts my heart. And this is what came through. So this is the answer, okay? You may not like the answer, but source, the field of all that is, expresses itself in both extremes for the purpose of expansion, with the knowing that love expands energy and that which is not of love contracts the field. Both are essential for each other. And if you can hear, my cat is agreeing in the background because I've got the door shut and Bo is calling me. You often have the awareness that the greatest gifts, and this is so true, you know, listen to this. You often have the awareness that the greatest gifts for growth and expanded awareness have come as a result of overcoming or surviving your greatest challenges, be they physical or emotional. And as you are the microcosm of the macrocosm, this is true of how Source itself grows and becomes more. Those of you who have chosen to be the ones to grow from what is not love can only do so because of those who choose to express the opposite. I'm going to say that again. Those of you who have chosen to be the ones to grow from what is not love. So we need what is not love to grow from, okay? Can only do so because of those who chose to express the opposite to love. Yeah. Your expanded technology and everything you accept and take for granted is a result of problem solving, of finding new and more efficient ways to do things, to experience things. That is why this place of third density is often referred to as a school. It is why awakening and to their purpose for being, that is why, hang on, I've lost my place. It is why, that is why this place of third density is often referred to as a school. It is why we, as non-physical beings, talking about themselves now, are so invested in the success of the current state of human awakening and to their purpose for being here at this time. It is time to stop seeing those who are providing. Now, this we may not want to hear. It is time to stop seeing those who are providing the contrast to your inner calling for a new earth, a new world, that hunger to be free from the shackles of restrictions as the and stop seeing them as the enemy, the bad guys, but to acknowledge them as the ones that are offering you the gift to make the choice of the opposite. I think it's going to take a lot, but we can see the sense of it, though. I can see the sense of it. You know, it really came to me that I had a real example of that. And for those of you who've been with me for a while, you know that just before the 2020 massive change in everything, I had a massive car accident. It was actually December the 12th, 2019. And I was in a really happy state. I was on my way to a sound healing, being good to myself, etc., etc. Well, all of a sudden, I found my car flying through the air and was involved in a huge 5-car pileup where I was not supposed to have survived according to everybody else, but I just walked out of my car and said, well, if this is the highest possibility, what's coming must be really good, because that is how I live. However, it was sometime after that I was driving again and I was a little weary, and I said to my team, hey, can you guys drive, because I'm a little weary, I need a bit of assistance. And they said, don't we always? And I said, well, where were you on the day that I had the car accident? And the answer was, we were driving the car that hit you. Now, I had to sit with that for a while, and I went, pardon? Yeah, we drove the car that hit you. So not only were they protecting me from injury, they actually orchestrated the accident. Why? Because I had stepped into fear. I just turned 80, and I suddenly went, well, how am I going to live and continue to do this work? And that old programming in my head of, no, you're 80 and you're supposed to not be able to do this anymore. Well, it's now nearly 7 years later and I'm still doing it. So they said, so in my fear, I had gone off my path to attempt to create some sort of wealth. And that was not my path. And so they, I just don't have that kind of opportunity anymore. If I don't stay on my path, it's very quick wham. So again, from that, so much expanded into my life, so much good, and I'm here with you because of that. So the same is the case in the metaphysical world. That which this is back to my answer. Okay, this is the counsel. So the same is the case in the metaphysical world. That which is unseen to your current eyes. There are those who are of the light, as you call it, and those that are not. There has been an imbalance in the cosmos for some time, and Earth was chosen to be the planet that could break free and activate a leap of consciousness for the whole. See, I keep telling, well, the council keeps stressing, you're not an insignificant nobody. You are so important to this whole transformation, this whole transition. Okay, so back to the writing. Source, or the quantum field of intelligence as you know it, is ready to expand itself. You are its spiritual warriors doing the heavy lifting. Okay, everybody, pat yourself on the back, okay? To know that the light is winning, as it is often referred to, is because of all who are awakening to their purpose of being of the love frequency. When you first started on your own journey 40 years ago, this is to me, there were very few souls who remembered or even cared why they were here. Very true. Most were, as were you, me, in daily survival mode. But there was something awakening within you that opened a door of curiosity and determination to find answers to change. Because you had chosen this lifetime to be a way shower, to be a change maker, to assist in this cosmic leap of consciousness, expanding the omniverse, right? We are the microcosm of the macrocosm. So we need, as we expand, so the whole expands. As the whole expands, we have an opportunity to expand more. It is also why astrology has suddenly become so prevalent. People are seeing new planets not seen before, new anomalies not seen before, creating a new magnetic field in resonance with the expansion. So it's a bit like, the chicken, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? So as we expand, the cosmos expands, and as the cosmos expands, it allows us to expand more. Let go of investing any of your precious energy on judging the bad guys. Accept and acknowledge it is their role and focus on your own path, your own purpose for your existence on this plane at this time, and celebrate every moment you can spend in love, in bringing together communities that are intent on living a different kind of way, more in alignment with the earth, as she too is changing her frequency to accommodate all who are of the light. And this is where, right from the beginning, when I was first introduced to my journey, I was giving this picture of two earths. And so the new earth is the earth where we're going to live. The old earth will continue to just do its thing, and those who want to continue to do that and they can't bring themselves out of that at the moment, well, they're just going to keep doing that. But we already are finding ourselves in two different earths. Well, absolutely. And if you experience that, please share that with everyone else. So that's me, I'm back with the council. You have made your choice. Stick with that and allow the other to unravel as it will and as it must. Focus on your own role to expedite this transition into the next cycle of expansion. We salute you for your perseverance and your unwavering focus on love, on peace, and on harmony for all. And so it is. And then it came, make this discourse this week's video message. Sometimes I feel like going, yes. Because, when they come through with the intensity of this message, and you can feel it as it comes through. I know that we are, at this tipping point where it would be so easy for us to slip back into, this is too big. Do you know that the 11th hour, how many times have you got to the 11th hour and then go, oh, it's too hard, and then just slip back into the old ways? Well, we don't have the luxury of that now. We need to push through the glass ceilings, just like, what is it, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory? Through the glass ceiling we go. And what's really important to me right now for doing this video, and if you're watching it and listening to it, then obviously I did put it up. But it is to become aware of the choice we've made. And if we've made the choice to be the creation frequency for this new earth, then that's what we need to stay focused on, and we need to allow the others to play their role and for us to play our role. The other thing that I really want to mention before we go on to our meditative activation is spirituality and the new earth is not about a world of euphoria, of perfection. The golden age is not about just being in la la land. There will still be, because if euphoria and perfection is a dead-end street, there is no growth possible. And this is an omniverse, or a source of frequency that is continuously looking to expand. Life is continually wanting to move forward and becoming more. So what is different is that there'd be uh, the violence will be gone. We will have different challenges, I'm absolutely sure, but they won't be of the third dimensional frequency. One of the things that will be is that everything will be transparent, so you can't actually have a harmful thought about somebody without them knowing it, and so they can go, thank you, no thank you. And we can already feel that when we are moving around the globe. We know when there's energy that is supporting us and there is energy that is not. Well, that's going to become so much more. So please, if this message is of value for you, please, like, subscribe, share, and please comment. You know how much I love that. And then remember, if you want to support my work, there is a donation button in the description box through PayPal. And if you want to join me on our monthly Zoom session with Sovereign Adama from Bali, then there is also a link there for you to register for that. So we are constantly doing everything we can to build communities around the globe of this new Earth frequency. And that's my focus. And if you're still with me, it's your focus. And I thank you for it. And I love you for it. So how about you just have a little wriggle and just come into your own heart center now. Just leave all the chit-chat that I've just been on with you to slowly fade away and come back into your own heart space, into your own breath, and just do a little conscious breathing with gratitude for it being the life force. Every breath you take in is giving you life. Every breath you take in is giving you life. Every breath you take out is connecting you to the earth. And so just feel yourself being this conduit between heaven and earth. And place your hands on your heart. It's where your soul lives. It's where life pulsates. So as we come to the end of this message, I invite you to close your eyes for just a few moments. Take a slow, gentle breath and another. Yes. And just allow yourself to relax, to bring yourself into the love for self, into the gratitude for self. Allow your awareness to move from your mind into your heart. Simply be present with the life that is expressing itself through you. Now, quietly ask yourself, what am I here to bring into this world? Not tomorrow, not one day, but today. Perhaps your gift is kindness, just one act of kindness. Perhaps it is compassion. Look at where you've been putting blame and change that into compassion and forgiveness. Perhaps it is courage. Maybe you have put up doing something that you felt you weren't able to do. Well, remember, break through that glass ceilings. So maybe some courage is necessary for you today. Perhaps it is simply your presence, just being present. And remember, every act of love expands the field. And that starts with every act of love for yourself. Every moment of forgiveness softens the collective. Every choice made from compassion helps illuminate a path for another. You do not have to change the whole world. You only need to become a living expression of the world you long to see and live in. So take one more slow breath in and feel the quiet light within your own heart. It has always been there. It is not something you need to earn. It is something you came here to remember. May you walk gently upon this earth. May your thoughts be guided by wisdom. May your words carry peace. May your actions reflect love. And may your presence become a beacon for those who are searching for their own light. For every time you choose love over fear, compassion over judgment, understanding over division, you become a way shower, a light bearer, a living expression of the new consciousness now awakening on our beautiful earth. And so it is. Take a deep breath in and just feel as the life enters you, wanting to be lived through you, as you, for you. And open your eyes whenever you're ready. Thank you for spending time with me today. And if you feel expanded by this message, remember, please share it with those you feel will benefit from it. And if this brought up any memories or times where your darkest hour became a doorway for your greatest change, for expansion, love and joy, please share it with us. Thank you for being who you are and for taking the time to share with me. I love you. I'm so grateful for you. Until we meet again, thank you so much. Thank you. And have a beautiful day, night.